So no, I'm using my fucking TikTok page to find a good situation. Message me and I'll message you back. I'm checking my requests. The last one I got was 15 minutes ago, and I'm in the upstate. I don't want to go all over the world just for a place to stay. Checking my messages. Shoot me a message if you want a roommate or if you have a room for rent. Message my page. Message my page. Snapchat's cool too, but I'm blocking people as soon as I see that you're not being helpful, bro. I have rent. I'm trying to be a roommate. I have rent. People are trying to troll me, and I'm not trying to be trolled. And I'm also not trying to lose my money this time. My ex came around and got 3 bands out of me last time I was in this situation. Like, I thought I was moving in with her, but she took the money. Well, I've been able to save up a little more than $1,000 this time. That's enough to move in somewhere. If you see me online on an app and you can help me with a place to stay, then that's what we're talking about. I'm not talking to anybody about anything else. I don't need words of encouragement right now. What I need is a room to rent. Me hand a person cash to move in.
Isn't it a little early for autumn, Sandy?
Yeah, it's only 2 o'clock.
I know that there is a person that is interested in having me around. What's up, Donald? Donald Beck. I'll invite you, bro.
What up? What up? What up?
I'm looking at every app that I possibly can, trying to connect with somebody who'll let me fucking pay them to move in.
Right? I'm sure, bub.
How's your day going today, Donald?
It's going good. I just barely got out of bed. I was in boxes till like 5 o'clock this morning, California time. So,
Oh yeah, just thinking about going back out there.
oh yeah. I
You
seen,
ever hear that person Quinn Cali Sober?
yeah.
He's made me an offer to potentially talk about maybe coming out there. You know,
There you go.
I haven't really been talking about it because I don't know how sure he is about wanting to do it, but I would probably do it.
You know what I mean? I would check it out, I've seen his videos. I kind of looked into it, kind of went to his page and was checking it out. But it seems like it's legit, you know what I mean?
I've always been more of a plant medicine leaning person when it comes to recovery anyway,
Right.
I believe in, talking mushrooms and, hemp being a pretty awesome tool to use in, mental health and stuff like that for people with PTSD and other kind of traumas.
Oh yeah, the microdose,
Well, microdose is cool too, but macro dosing for under the right care in a therapeutic setting, can undo 10 years worth of damage in one session.
I feel you on that. Like I said, you know my past and what I recovered from, but I told you I'm Cali sober.
He's done iboga too, and I've been doing some research on that, and it's pretty interesting. Yeah. He says he has. So here, chat. Let's do some research together, okay? Because let's do some research. Donald, thank you so much for being here today. If you don't mind, we'll go through this together.
Handle it.
All right, got my other phone right here. Iboga. Okay. I hope I don't get flagged.
Ibogaine does three things. Within 48 hours, will resolve physiological substance dependence for 80% of folks who take it but one time. That goes to 97% when they do it with a booster dose. Second thing that it does is...
And it's talking about Pete. And so what he means by that, to give you some context, is that people who have opioid dependency. So when they undergo Ibogaine treatment, what is being found, by professionals, like people who, you have to go out of the country. You have to go out of the country to do this. You can't go anywhere in America to do this. So, but it completely refreshes the opioid receptor to the place where it was before initial use of an opioid.
Restores an individual's sense of ownership over self. And I would say finally, and most importantly, many individuals who have an Ibogaine experience come away with a concrete affirmation and knowledge that they are a spiritual being made
This is all subjective.
in the image of an almighty creator whose essence is pure and unconditional love for them, and that they have a unique and special purpose to achieve with their life. Ibogaine does three things.
So that sounds great. Who wouldn't want an experience like that?
Right.
Who wouldn't want that? But now let's keep looking, because a lot of people are reporting that this is one of the most challenging experiences.
How am I doing? 2 years Blue Chew.
You explain what is the unique pathway that allows Ibogaine to help people with addictions? Because it's a very unusual thing that it does to people.
All right, let me.
You explain what is the
So, all right. So, when you go get Ibogaine treatment, it's an injection thing, and apparently it's a really, really challenging experience. And at the end of the experience, they do 5-MeO Dimitri, if you know what 5-MeO is. So, like, I guess they describe it like doing iboga. I've seen, and I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, iboga is like going through hell, right? Going through the hardest parts of your subconscious, you know, showing you all of the things that are wrong with you, all of the bad, like just showing you all of the hard parts, right? And then at the end of the experience, you do the 5-MeO, and like those two together, it's supposed to be like 5-MeO is the God molecule, right? I've never had a personal experience with 5-MeO. I've done NM Dimitri, which is like what most people have had a Dimitri experience with. If you know, you know. It's hard to just go find 5-MeO, you know. So
Right.
But here, let me see if I can get a video talking about that.
Yeah, I've watched some documentaries on different aspects of all that.
Iboga 5-MeO.
Did Ibogaine and 5-MeO DMT.
Where'd you do it?
Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah, I went to this place called Ambio Life Sciences, and but I had like all these guys that I'd worked with, or maybe I didn't work with, but they had the same kind of path in life as me. They kept telling me about like the psychedelic therapy and how it changed their life and cleaned them out, and I was like, maybe I should try that. And so I flew down and did that, and when I came out, like it was like you just had this intuition that clicked in my head, and it was like, all this shit that I'm doing is poison.
What was it? Did you smoke something or drink or?
Yeah, so the Ibogaine is like some kind of a root that they get out of, I think, Gabon, Africa. And they say it's like the most powerful psychedelic on the planet. And it's like a 12-hour experience.
Mother ayahuasca, father ibogaine, or father iboga.
And then you wake up from that, and then you do this 5-MeO DMT, which is also like super profound.
And how long's that will last?
That one lasts about 15 minutes, but you have a death experience. Dude, it's like you cross over, man. Like if you have not done it?
I don't think I'm ready.
So they give you, so the dose matters too. So like at the end of the experience, they're going to give you a dose of 5-MeO that is going to be like enough to like give you the ego dissolution. Not every person who does 5-MeO is going to have that experience.
For that yet?
Yeah, it's pretty
Would you
heavy.
recommend it? I'm 30.
Yeah,
I
I'd
feel
recommend
like,
it.
does it
All right,
stop?
I want to get an experience of what people
I
are
had
talking
a really
about.
weird-
It's hard. It's not something. It's not
What's
something to take lightly.
The process
Yeah.
with 5-MeO DMT is complete. Luke will share.
So this is what this person experienced, and this is what they're talking about. You know, like me having the opportunity to experience. You know, and like so, like that's not like something like I need to be able to trust a person, right? Like I need to be able to. I need to know that what I'm doing is the right person, the right place, everything, right? So, I mean, I'm very open-minded to this. Like, I'm so open-minded to it. Like, I'm very, very, very open-minded to it. I met a person actually while I was out with Graceland, Donald. And I was actually out at church with Danielle, and it's super funny. And like, this is like how, like, this is how I feel like the universe is kind of pulling me towards this, because while I'm with Graceland people, and I've never told you guys this, while I was with Graceland people, while I was with Pat, while I was with Danielle, this person was sitting, and we were at church actually, while we were at church at Calamigos at one of the, during the fires and stuff. Okay. And there's these people that came behind, there was this person behind me, and he was like, hey, you know, he like touched me on my shoulder, and he was glowing, you know, his eyes wide up. Hey. And I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, are you with all those Graceland people? He's like, hey, you're Nick, right? He's like, hey, that's Danielle. Hey, Danielle. You know, he says hey to Danielle. He's like, you know, I used to work with Danielle. Starts talking to me about Danielle. Start having good things to say about Danielle. You know, I love Danielle. I've never once said one bad thing about Danielle, and I never will. So we're saying good things about Danielle. He starts talking to me, and he's like, dude, I just came back from Costa Rica. He's like, I just came back from Ibogaine treatment, and you could just see it all over his face. Really? How funny is that? Right. How crazy is that? He's right behind me. I'm with Graceland. You know, I've always been a person who talked about like psychedelic. He's always been like into like plant medicine, you know, like talking about in recovery. I've found growth with these compounds and stuff. Obviously, I've never had an Ibogaine experience or anything like that. But this person is behind me while I'm at church with Graceland people. It's almost like foreshadowing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's almost like foreshadowing. And he's telling me about his experience, and he's like, dude, you know, he has zero craving. He has zero desire. He said, he's like, dude, he feels like he said he feels like he's reborn. You know, it's like being welcomed back to Earth for the first time.
You know, everybody, or any of the documentaries I've seen on TV or watched, or any of the YouTube videos, that's what they all say. You know, it's like a out of body experience that when you come back, you're reborn. You know, you're not only is your cravings gone and your desire to
His experience.
I'm listening. Sorry.
your desire to chase it is gone, but it's your thinking pattern. Everything is totally different. And that's what I've never experienced it. I'm basing it on what, this conversation and watching these documentaries. And
Let's see if I can find any more good information on this.
And you guys,
Check this out, guys.
just magnesium.
What's in the drip is potassium and magnesium.
Oh,
So the potassium and the magnesium are very important electrolytes, okay, for the functionality of your heart and the strength of your heart as well. They're there and they're serving as cardiac protectors. You're going to be receiving this IV drip continuously throughout the 8 or 12 hours that you are in this treatment. Dr. Bautista is going to be coming in and he's going to be checking how your body is reacting to the medicine. Okay, depending on where your vitals are at.
Doesn't that look like a beautiful room too?
Second is whether they determine to add more magnesium into your drips, but you will be maintaining a permeable intravenous access during this experience, okay? Okay. If at any time, sweetie, you get thirsty, because the anti-nausea medication
It's got to be done in a hospital setting, guys.
sometimes cause drying out. Not so much.
I think I've watched this one.
Feel like you've got cotton mouth or drying out. Ask for some water, okay? It's a practice something very beautiful that I'm trying out is asking for your needs to be met. Alright, so whether that's helping you blow your nose, whether that's helping get people water, whether that's holding your hand to help ground you, we're here for that, okay? Some people always say, I don't want to bother. It's no bother. You know this, okay? We're here these days.
444.
That makes me feel good.
Excellent.
I feel cared for.
Feel cared for. No, that's right, brother. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead, Donald.
Ibogaine.
Blue Chew.
What is ibogaine and what are the benefits? Ibogaine comes from the iboga tree in Africa. The Bwiti shamans in West Africa, they use this bark or part of the tree to eat it. And so it can make you vomit like ayahuasca type of thing, and it can churn everything up. Mainly what ibogaine is used for today is heroin addiction and or painkillers. It cleans the receptor sites inside the body. And ibogaine is being used for PTSD right now. Ibogaine is being used for PTSD right now.